We take you live now to our reporter Zikhona Tshona at the court. Good morning, Zikhona. Tell us what has been the reaction of the family to the magistrate granting the two-man bail.
Well, certainly, Vuyo, the father reacted very emotionally to the magistrate. As he was reading his statement, the father started shouting, "My son is dead. My son, I will never see my son again, and these men are being granted bail." And as he walked out the court, also very emotional, with the mother crying, saying that they don't understand what has happened to them, because this has been a very emotional time for their family. They've had to be driven off the court premises now. I heard one of the relatives saying, "Please take the mother to hospital," as she is very emotional during this time. We also know that the magistrate delayed the start of this court proceedings to allow the family to come in, and I think he wanted to give the proper explanation as to his decisions, as to why he's decided to grant these two men bail. He wanted them to be here so we could hear him lay out exactly what is underlined in this bail provisions. We do know that 5,000 rand bail for each of the accused has been granted here this morning.
And from the protesters who were outside, what was their reaction when they heard what the decision was?
This urgent bail application began last week, Tuesday, so it's been a very long run for the protesters themselves, who've been outside this court every single day and singing throughout the court proceedings. They are angry, they are not happy at all. Many of them have marched along this street to the center of this town. If I can just step aside from the camera, but this is where they've been throughout the bail proceedings since last week, Tuesday. And while you are sitting inside court, you can hear them singing as the court proceedings are going on. They are not getting tired, and they keep on shouting, saying no bail should be granted to these two men that have been accused of killing this young boy. We do know that an intelligence personnel from the South African Police Service did testify to say that they have received information stating that the community have vowed that they will continue protesting should these two men be granted bail. And that's exactly what they are saying out here today. They came out in their numbers. Many of them have marched to the center of the town, where we saw 2 weeks ago the protesters there destroyed much of the infrastructure, as well as the shops and the buildings further down on the street. It is a one-street town, so this court is on the same street that protesters usually gather on. They meet here and they decide on their way forward. So they've stepped further down to the center of the town, Vuyo.
Well, Zikhona, I mean, the magistrate did concede that this decision won't mean that, won't stop, in fact, the protest. Did the protesters indicate what form, perhaps, the protests may take beyond this point, up until perhaps the two men are back in court?
Well, from what you know from the security personnel who testified before court last week, he was saying that they are receiving information to say that community members are saying that they're going to be burning vehicles, they're going to be burning tires on the road, and they will continue as they did last week with damaging the property along this road. And I don't know how much more of it can be damaged, because driving into Coligny, you can clearly see that many of the shop owners have not even bothered to fix any of the damage that have been caused there to their shops, because they know that given this day coming, that if bail is granted, the committee has vowed that they will repeat what they did 2 weeks ago, rather, when they went on a rampage. They destroyed much of the property here. If you drive into Coligny, you can see the bottle stores have been looted. You can see furniture shops the windows have been broken. Some of the shop owners have barricaded their shops to form like some sort of security for their property.
Thank you, Zikhona Tshona, at the Coligny Magistrate Court, telling us, of course, that the protesters have vowed to continue with the protest. As you will have seen, if you might have seen earlier, the magistrate saying, although he was aware that the protests may continue, the court cannot be held to ransom. Those were his words. The established legal principles and the Constitution is what should drive decisions of the court. We'll continue, of course, to monitor that story for you throughout the day.